Hello, Ben.
Hello.
I got it before you.
Yeah, we're doing this
Yeah.
again, and you'll be pleased to know, Jordan, I think we might be able to do this in 2 episodes, 3 at most.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you think that it's possible that we'll finish both of our current games? Oh, no, because this is one of your. Never mind. Ignore me.
yeah,
I was being silly.
you were. I thought
I
you
forgot to
were an
put numbers
accountant.
existed. Yes, but I'm not actually an accountant, am I, you cretin?
No,
I keep
you're.
telling you this.
I mean, o- okay. I mean, you
I
are.
do keep telling you.
Yeah, but you're a junior accountant. That's a
No, I'm
type
not.
of.
I'm an assistant accountant.
That's a
It's not the
type of.
same thing.
It's. I mean, okay. I'm sure you're gonna tell me there's some sort of qualification you need to get or whatever.
Yep. Is an assistant accountant an accountant? That's not what I asked.
Are you gonna talk to me or? Okay, I need a KGB agent. How do I find
According
one?
to according to the ACCA Career Navigator, an
Yeah.
assistant accountant is a junior member of a finance team usually reporting to the financial accountant. They're not technically an accountant. An important role, but they're not technically an accountant.
Okay.
You like it or not? Thankfully, for me. Now, what's Boris up to?
We're talking to Bladzitsky.
It's funny you're playing as a Russian.
We do look a little bit like Vladimir Putin, don't we?
Well, I suppose a little bit. PM. As that time of recording,
Yeah.
tomorrow is a very famous day.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's a day that the name is a name of many a country's special days.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us what it is, Ben?
Friday. It's Independence Day.
One of these days, I will kill him, or just slap him, and he'll be like, "What are you doing that for?" And I'll be like, "Just you know what for."
Yeah. Yes, it's
Fucking
Independence.
prick.
It's Independence Day.
A lot of countries have had their independence from the British, haven't they?
Yeah, sorry about that.
It wasn't our fault.
Although strictly speaking, I'm
We
half
saw a
Irish.
thing, we took it.
Strictly speaking, I'm half Irish, so you know, it's not. You know, I'm. What are you doing? You silly old bin.
I'm 1/8 Yugoslavic as well, so
Are you?
you know, yeah. Great granddad was from Yugoslavia.
Huh. Well, well, actually, speaking of which, I may well hire somebody at work to do my family tree.
Okay,
They're into genealogy. I've often
okay.
spoken about family tree stuff and how interesting I find and how much I'd like to have that information. And we'll have to see what price she wants, but we'll see.
It's always a money thing with these people, isn't it?
What genealogists?
Yeah. No, it is though, isn't it? I never do it for the love of a craft.
Well, she does love the craft as well, and she's bloody good at it. By all accounts, she got a distinction in her recent dissertation.
Oh, okay.
Hello, are you dissidents?
Okay then. I recently had a very brief consideration as to whether I would like to do any sort of genealogical look. And then I remembered that's not how you spell gynecology. No, but then I remembered that there's no good is going to come out of exploring my family history.
Well, I don't know. You might find one who isn't a complete monster.
Yeah, there's me.
Yeah.
I don't need the validation of ancestors who I've never met, never will meet, and have had no realistic bearing on my life to be decent people when I've got me and I'm decent enough. I'm enough for me.
Aw. Right, come on, love. Let's hand you over
But
to the
speaking of
authorities.
monsters,
Yeah?
shall we have a little chat about another big news story?
Is this P. Diddler?
I don't know if we should be using that phrase, but yes, it is P. Diddy. Puff Daddy at one point, I believe. Who obviously he had his sentencing. No, he hasn't had his sentencing. He had the jury returned a result, didn't they?
Yeah.
They released a verdict this week, and we had a bit of a preemptive. They've come to a conclusion on most of the cases, most of the charges.
Yeah.
Situation, and they were like, no, deliberate further.
Hmm.
Apparently, they hadn't decided whether he was guilty of racketeering or not at that point.
Hmm.
And I've got a soundbite for this.
Oh.
It's been in my head for basically the whole time this trial has been going on.
Okay.
Diddy did do it.
Huh.
That's from South Park.
Huh. Oh.
The context is something to do with Satan trying to throw a party
Yeah.
and not wanting anything that Diddy had happen at his party.
Oh, God. When did that come out?
Quite a few years back.
See, everybody knows these things in Hollywood because these rumors.
I'm going to see if I can find the episode. South Park, Satan, Diddy party. It was Satan's Super Sweet 16. Satan's Super Sweet, which is also a little bit creepy. That is called it. It's from an episode called Hell on Earth 2006, and it aired on October 25th, 2006.
You see, people know.
It was 150th episode as well of South Park.
People know, man. You know, they.
But yes.
I mean, there was a Kevin Spacey joke in the Family Guy episode where Stewie, on a dare, runs naked through a shopping mall and says, "Help! I escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement."
There was I recently saw something by The Rest is Entertainment where
Oh.
they were talking about whether something is libel or not.
Hmm.
And they said that if you're going to put something in, you need to make it vague so that they don't know what you're talking about. So then it can't be considered libelous because what are you actually saying, right? And they decided they were talking about I think it was the thick of it.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a joke about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Or when Jimmy Savile dies, they're going to find something horrible in his basement. I think was the joke they wanted to put in.
Yeah.
But he's famously litigious.
Yes, he was.
Famously litigious.
He was.
They didn't want to take that risk. But again, there's always that question of do they know something or are they just making a joke? And yeah, it's hard to be sure sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Family Guy also made a joke about Caitlyn Jenner before she transitioned.
Oh, yeah.
Where Stewie refers to her as a beautiful woman. Because that was like a famously open secret in Hollywood. Like everybody fucking knew that Caitlyn Jenner, then Bruce Jenner, wore women's clothing. Because at the time, that's sort of what the understanding, I guess, was. You know, but it was kind of known. I mean, people in Hollywood know this shit because people talk. You know, they're and there's lots of people working on these film sets that work on other film sets, sort of behind the scenes. So if you get chatting to like your hairdresser on a film set, and they've worked on a film, and so, you know, was cheating on his wife, They may well mention it in gossip.
Because people talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a. Yeah, that soundbite has been with me for a long time.
Well,
and it's something I may get to bring up again at this weekend.
yeah.
Because this weekend I've been invited to a social gathering.
Have you?
As we talked about. Yeah, it's why I probably won't be available until the evening on Saturday.
Okay.
I did tell you.
You did.
And then you said, "Oh golly."
Yeah, I did, and then you didn't say anything. Sorry, I'm autistic.
Well, there wasn't really anything to add. Like, I can make something worth replying to, and I'll reply to it.
All right.
But this was an event that was advertised to me as pizza / fajitas, drinks, and South Park.
Oh.
Now, I don't necessarily think South Park's actually going to happen.
Okay.
And I think I'm leaning towards pizza at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I've had fajitas, it will be 3 times this week, considering I made a big batch of the stuff.
Ooh.
And had it for tea one day, lunch the next, and then tea tonight.
Well, I did Domino's yesterday and a Chinese tonight, so I really fucking need to get on back on the salad tomorrow. There you go.
I've been really enjoying making fajitas lately because I do it through the I do it in the air fryer, and it works really fucking well.
Fries are great in the air fryer.
I try and avoid fries these days. I went at a very brief period of time when I sorted out my freezer, when I'd pick up some fries and I'd went twice a week. I'd just make myself some really fancy fucking fries, but it was not helping with the weight.
Now, you mentioned Jimmy Savile.
Yes, I did, very briefly. Thankfully, he can't fucking sue us.
Yeah, because he's
There's
burned
a green
in
thing on
hell.
your right. I don't know if you saw it. No, I said on your right. Not your left. Not there.
Oh, there it is. Yes, Jimmy Savile sort of he popped back. He had a cameo sort of in a movie. Don't know whether you heard about this. Well, yeah. 28 years later.
Oh, okay.
It ends with the main character being rescued by a bunch of people sort of cosplaying as Jimmy Savile.
Jesus Christ.
So they've got the platinum wigs and the tracksuits.
Hang on, isn't the main character the kid?
Yeah, it's when he's older. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a relief because obviously.
I think it is. Anyway.
Let's be honest.
I haven't actually seen it, and the leader of this gang is called Sir Jimmy something or other.
Okay.
But the point of this, because the events of the first film happened in like 2002, I think it is canonically or something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously it's before the Jimmy Savile stuff came out, and this whole reference was basically a way of talking about sort of that blind nostalgia we have for the past sometimes. That all the terrible things Jimmy Savile did have been lost to history in this universe. And
I don't know if this is necessarily the right place to make that sort of comment.
Well, it's getting a sequel, so there'll be more Jimmy Savile.
It's getting a trilogy.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have unless someone who worked at the BBC between the years 1960 and 2002 survived. Nobody will ever know.
Oh.
But yeah, it was about sort of nostalgia and the way we deal with our history and the valuing of the past and stuff like that, which I thought was an interesting point and a good way of showing it, because the audience watching that has the same reaction you did, which is like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
But to those characters, he's just a weird cult figure from the before times.
I know. I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Yeah,
I think I understand it in context why it happens. Fine, I get it. I just think we should be smarter as media creators than to do that sort of thing.
Well, I thought it was quite an interesting idea. But let's talk about something happier, which shouldn't be difficult.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. I've got something happier.
Okay.
Finished my Lovecraft book.
All right.
And the last section of it.
Yeah.
Audible breaks it into chapters and blah blah blah. The last chapter on Audible
was
actually effectively just an outtakes chapter.
All right.
where they would. I almost recorded the 8 minutes of it to send to you because I thought you'd find it funny. But they're criticising his writing at times. These are people who are part of the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society.
Well, I'm glad they
These people fucking love him.
I'm glad they find things to make fun of him about, because he is a bit heavy in his prose sometimes with the gibbous moons and whatnot.
They weren't happy with some of the wording.
Yeah.
And there was swearing, and there was a point where he's like, "There's too much German."
Yes. Yes.
And just the whole thing, it really tickled because I wasn't. It's listed as the life and times of H.P. Lovecraft in the chapter list,
Yeah.
so I was expecting it to be something about him,
like a little, that's actually
more about his life or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And it wasn't. It was a fucking outtakes thing, and I fucking loved it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea.
It really amused me. It made me happy to hear. And I moved on to another audiobook after that.
Yeah.
And I did mention this one to you. I don't know if you remember.
No. Sorry.
I started listening to a Doctor Who audiobook.
Oh, so you did.
It's the novelizations of 5, I think it was, Dalek stories, including, most recently, Genesis of the Daleks.
Genesis, yeah.
Which I have finished. I finished the entire lot today. That was the last one, and I finished that. Obviously, that's a Tom Baker story.
Yeah.
Can you think who they got to narrate it?
Well, I mean, Tom Baker might be up for something like that, but was it John Coleshaw?
It was John Coleshaw.
Do you know how I know that?
Because, I did, I think, send you a... No,
yeah.
I didn't send you that one.
It was on the front page.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Funny that you remembered that, but you didn't remember that I'd told you that.
Well, I only remembered it after you told me.
Why is he such a wonderful choice?
You don't see a lot of him these days, though, do you?
No, but why is he such a wonderful choice for it?
Well, because he does a good Tom Baker impression.
He's done it on screen, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's literally played the Tom Baker Doctor.
Yeah, he has.
And it's good.
Yeah.
The voice is good. They had someone impersonating Pertwee.
Yeah.
And Hartnell and Troughton, I believe. And it was good. It was enjoyable.
Good. I'm glad
Got to hear about Mavic Chen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their treacherous ways, and
The Daleks are so interesting, really. On the whole.
Not
all the time, but as a whole,
I think Genesis was an interesting story in terms of the Daleks themselves.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think that otherwise they're that interesting.
Well,
in my experience.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I on second thoughts, I agree.
There's a Matt Smith era one called Asylum of the Daleks.
So the one with the Parliament of Daleks?
Possibly.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. And
it wasn't necessarily that bit, but all the fact that they've got effectively a loony bin for Daleks that are so fucking nutso that they're not welcome within the other Dalek society.
Why didn't they just kill them?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? It's what they do with plenty of others.
Yeah, it's like, a eugenicist society would just kill those things.
I saw something. Someone described I know it's different, but it's for Cybermen as a natural evolutionary route for humans to take.
Yeah.
At some point, because of the whole, not necessarily evolution, I suppose, but the way that technology develops in terms of life preservation, and therefore, at some point, we're basically going to get to a point where the Cybermen happen. At some point, we have a technological inevitability.
Well,
and what happens after that is
they sort of. This is one of the things the 10th Doctor Series 2, Age of Steel and Rise of the Cybermen did kind of well, because it brings in the whole mobile phone and Wi-Fi type technology into it, and making that compatible with everything. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do agree with that. I mean, the genesis of the Cybermen, the idea came from the progress being made in transplant stuff and
Stop,
pacemakers.
down behind you, you missed the bloody green thing.
Oh, sorry,
How am I seeing this shit, but you're not?
because I'm focusing on the mini map.
Focus on the map, on the fucking screen. If you're pointing in the right direction, why do you need to keep looking at the mini map?
I'm gonna get a dishwasher.
Yeah, I know.
I need just my plumber's coming on. Say my
Tomorrow?
plumber tomorrow. Yeah, so I need to clean the kitchen tomorrow morning. It's the whole
I thought
reason.
you took today off so you could.
Yeah, I didn't.
I mean, you
I,
well.
I ended up sleeping for most of it, and
Honestly, you really are.
I've been rewatching Primal.
Well, what you should probably do is fucking the jobs that you book days off for. What a waste of a holiday day.
It's not a waste of a holiday day.
No, it is though. If you've booked it off to do a thing and when you don't do the thing, it's a wasted day.
Where's the thing?
I don't know. The marker's gone.
Why is the bloody marker gone?
I don't know. You've probably fucked it up.
I haven't fucked it up.
Well, I sure as hell haven't fucked it up, have I? You're getting a dishwasher.
Yeah. I just need him to tell me if I can, because Mum had some concerns. It should be fine, and I'm going to get a slimline one, and I'll never have to wash up again.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, Ben. Before they know it, they've forgotten to put a damn thing on, but they need some pots.
I don't forget. I have an excellent memory.
No, but I bullshit, but also very importantly, and you're not going to like this.
What?
Sometimes you'll just be too fucking lazy to actually put it on. Don't forget the green thing.
I know.
Well, I couldn't be too sure what you were looking at. Might have been a fucking mini map again, knowing you.
Okay, so I guess the marker was literally just leading me to Science Town, which is fucking handy, isn't it?
What are you meant to be doing here?
There's an artifact that is going to make my weapon more effective against the big alien enemies.
Okay. Woo.
Many guards are guarding research facility in town. They must be guarding something very secret. I wonder
Mhm.
what is being. Perhaps could be a toaster? Oh, it's very exciting.
Jesus. Okay.
Soviet way to be attracted to short, balding men.
You know what sounds sexy but isn't?
Getting pissed on? I don't know.
Well, on Monday this week,
Yeah.
I had nothing on my lower half of my body and was laid in a dark room with two female medical professionals.
Oh my god.
Which, on the face of it, sounds like it could be quite a sexy situation.
Well, I
But
mean,
then you remember that they were ultrasounding my testicles,
yeah.
and it suddenly stops being quite so sexy.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really sound all that sexy to begin with, to be frank with you. It sounds sort of. Ugh. How
Is
was
it or
it?
is it not a very viable opening point for a porno?
It is a very viable opening point for porno. Right.
Okay. Hence, it's a generic sexy, not necessarily actually sexy.
Yoink.
Generic sexy, at least.
Yeah.
And no, it was very much not. They were very lovely. I got in and out before. The appointment wrapped up about the time that it should have started.
Lovely.
So I didn't have to pay for parking because I was gone in less than half an hour. They haven't gone in less than half an hour.
And did they? I don't suppose you know anything yet, or?
Well, from the looks of things, I'm actually probably more fertile than the doctor led me to believe I am.
Oh, lovely.
Because we were under the impression that the one that decided not to drop out
Yeah.
probably wasn't active, but it's got good blood flow apparently. Other than the fact that it's smaller and recessed a bit.
All
Is that the right word?
shriveled.
Other than those two small details, it looks perfectly fine.
Well,
So
that's
yeah,
lovely.
here I was thinking I'd conceived on half a tank, but no, probably the full works or near
Lovely.
enough. So yeah, nice to have two working balls.
Yeah.
Always assumed it was just the one.
Well, that's good.
It's just the aesthetic issue now.
Well, you can get it plucked out, can't you?
Well, they don't want to operate on it.
Why not?
Well, I'm at that age now where it's not really worth doing for medical reasons. It's actually more risky than not doing it at this point because of the complications that you can arise from an operation.
Hmm.
So
what will you do?
Eh.
Learn to live with it?
live well, I do the same thing I've done for the last 31 years, man. Just live with it.
Well, that's, I guess, an end to your weird testicle saga.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I was kind of hoping to get it replaced with a prosthetic.
Yeah.
You know, I could go private for it, I suppose, but I just think
It
that's cost quite a lot of money and it's not really worth it long term.
costs an awful lot of money to get an autism assessment private.
Well, yeah.
Hundreds, if not thousands. Crazy.
I don't even have to put a knife to your scrotum.
I know. I've got 7 to 12 months to wait, but hey ho.
You know, I'm sure that if you went on a small murder spree, they'd probably do it as a matter of trying to work out what the fuck caused it.
We're not advising that, incidentally.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it'd come to something regarding the medical state in this country if the best way to get a comprehensive medical examination would be to kill a number of innocent people.
Well, I suppose if you're trimming the waiting list. Oh, there's a story in that, isn't there? Someone like an assassin who needs a transplant of some sort.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I have a strong feeling I've heard about that already being done. I think it's somebody who wants to get a loved one medical care or something, and is I'm certain I've encountered something similar to that.
I would be surprised if it isn't, but honestly, independently come up with it just now. It makes sense for there to be that sort of story. I think it probably works better if it's the person doing it so they can have the operation, because then you have the opportunity for it to be some otherwise unsuspecting old person.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the sort of thing that would work well in like a sort of detective murder of the week style thing. Maybe it was a mid. I don't think. I don't think
the proper film out of that one.
A barn.
Either way, I started the last series of What We Do in the Shadows tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's
has it been good thus far?
Now. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been
good,
entertaining. There's been sound bites that have stuck with me. It's entertained me. I kept watching it. Looks like only 9 episodes left. Somewhere between 3 and 4 hours, give or take.
Good.
Probably do that this weekend if I really wanted to, but I won't. Well, actually, I don't know that. It depends when I end up getting videos edited and.
I've got to get back into my Brookside video. I'm watching old episodes as for research, so I need to get back into that.
I will say, and this is the last time I'm going to bitch about this.
Yeah.
If you're going to book a day off work, then it might be more advantageous for you to work on a project than it is for you to sleep half a day.
Well, look, I in my defence, I'm getting a lot of sleep recently. I sort of mucked up my sleep pattern a bit because I don't get a lot of sleep at night because I have to wake up early, go in. When I get back home, I go for a nap, wake up a few hours later, hang about for a bit, and then go to sleep again a little later.
I think maybe that nap might be what's fucking you over.
Well, it is. That's why I said.
I think maybe you should try and cut that nap out.
I think maybe you should mind your own business.
I think maybe you should cut that nap out.
Noted.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't sleep enough, but I am at least sleeping on a regular human schedule.
Yeah.
One thing good about sharing bed with animals and children, Boris no I am not knowing scientist.
And lately, I've not been getting a lot of sleep, but the temperature hasn't helped. It's cooled down again now, isn't it? So.
Mm.
Perhaps I will be inviting him over for food pills.
Oh, I've got a breaking news again.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he died now and all formed a new political party.
It's not necessarily. Okay. So, Zara Sultana, as we had discussed in the last video, has announced that she's quitting Labour to form a new party with Jeremy Corbyn. Yes?
Yeah.
It's being reported that apparently Jeremy Corbyn has yet to agree to join the new party and is reportedly furious and bewildered, is the quote I've got.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's Labour till he dies, Jeremy Corbyn, really. But yeah, sort of, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's interesting actually, because she was stripped of a Labour whip last year for backing a move to scrap the two-child benefit cap.
Yeah.
Which is something that have since announced that they want to do.
Hmm.
It's something they're planning on doing in October, or announcing in October, but might now not be able to do because of what's happened this week.
Hmm.
So it feels a bit unfair that they'd be suspended still at this point, because apparently she's still suspended from the party.
Well, what you got to remember is that the Labour Party at the minute is terrified of anything vaguely left wing because they feel it will negatively impact poll numbers. Even though we'll probably do the opposite. So everybody who mentions a slightly too progressive or left-leaning viewpoint is out and out for good because they want to come across as being hard on bloody communists.
Okay, but it's an official, well-known thing that they want to do this, but they want to enact this policy.
Well,
so it's kind of bullshit.
Well, she was a Corbyn supporter, wasn't she, at the time? So you know.
It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Does not sit right with me at all. They've been obviously. Do you know what happened this week? Have you followed it at all?
They had to do a U-turn on benefit cuts because a lot
to water it down.
Yeah, a lot of the backbenchers threatened to revolt.
Yeah, they might not have, despite having quite a sizable majority.
Yeah.
They might not have been able to get it through Parliament. So it's been a bit of a fuck up for them. Hasn't looked good a year into government. Do you know what happened yesterday?
Chancellor cried.
Yeah.
Why?
And that was big news. Well, apparently there's something in her personal life, and it'd been a rough day.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I read an article saying that it was probably a result of her having had an argument with the speaker.
Okay.
Who then apologised for him. He was basically being a bit of a dick, from what I gather. And it's possible that the speaker made the Chancellor cry.
Well, I mean, okay.
I think the way I found out about the crying was having heard it on the Jeremy Vine show at lunchtime yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said something along the lines of, "We're getting reports that the Chancellor is crying in the Houses of Commons right now, during PMQs. Obviously, I don't want to speculate, but it does make you wonder."
I don't want to speculate, but
well,
who knows? I let's do it.
It's such a It's just such a shitty thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I've still got the recording of when I spoke to him. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
I don't listen
bondage.
to it, but one day I'll listen to it again. Oh, there's a big old fellow over there, isn't there?
I know. It's not really our concern at the minute.
I thought your weapon should be better against it now.
I know, but I need to find my bird.
Babushka.
Yeah. She's over there. Yeah, she's over there. Yeah, I've been rewatching Primal.
Yeah, which one's that?
Primal is the Jendi Tartarovsky. The guy who did Samurai Jack. It's an animated thing about a caveman and his dinosaur friend
Oh, okay, I'm not familiar.
trying to survive in an incredibly brutal world. And it is the only series I've ever come across that has a drunken dinosaur one-night stand.
Okay.
Which I
So
thought,
far.
yeah, so far, yeah. Okay, where is she? Where's me woman? The lady friend.
She's in his KGB base. Are they locked in there with her, or is she locked in there with them?
Well,
That's the real question.
right. I would recommend it.
You know I'll never get.
The ending's not great, but
We I have been meaning to rewatch Heroes
yeah.
because I sort of gave up on that partway through, and it started off so great
Mm,
and ended up quite bad.
mm.
So I intend to watch that again at some point. And turns out my partner's been meaning to watch it as well.
Oh, goody, you can do that together.
Yes, we will. We were going to watch.
Oh, stop.
We were going to watch What We Do in the Shadows together, but
Mm.
that ended up not happening. We watched the first one, but after that, I've been doing the rest myself. So at some point, we'll do Heroes.
Capitalists were being right. Rising tide is lifting all boats.
I think we're okay now. Okay.
Dorlov.
Why, hello there, comrade.
Dr. Orlov, just the cat I wanted to see. You haven't seen a hot blonde chick around here, have ya? Name's Natalia.
I did! Alien creature was taking pretty woman up to alien base. Oh, she's tough cookie. Was putting up quite a struggle.
If they hurt a hair on her sexy little head, I'm gonna boil every last one of them.
Well, they are only passing by short time ago. If you hurry, you might catch
Is it
them.
now your problem?
When
It's
finished,
now my problem.
you could be rescuing me as well. I'll just wait.
Yeah, we're not coming back. He's gonna die. Right.
Well, you end up in the gulag for a reason. Not always a good one.
Oh, there it is. Right, let's go save our not girlfriend.
How long do you think you'd last in a gulag?
I don't know. I keep my head down, but I'm not great at manual
I reckon
labour.
I'd make it a week.
I don't know. I'd probably snap, say fuck this, and then get shot in the head.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't know when they
Keep my
were
mouth
pissed off with
shut.
you or not from their face expressions,
I
would you?
just,
So
I just, I just give up at a certain point, or try and escape, and fail completely.
like I say, I reckon I'd last a week at least.
Oh no, Sergei's infected.
For crying out. Tell me you use protection. Or don't they teach sex ed in the Young Pioneers?
I am not talking about STDs. He's been infested with alien spores.
Well, yeah, whatever you want to call it, love.
Hmm.
And I'm afraid penicillin won't do the trick. Hello, cryptosporidium. Millencoff. Sorry to rain on your communist party, but in case you haven't noticed, your little base looks like Keith Moon redecorated.
Jesus.
Such bluster, such arrogance. You're beginning to sound like real American. Soon you'll be wearing cowboy hat and speaking in monosyllables. Says you. The truth is, this base means nothing. At this very moment, we are preparing to initiate the final phase of Operation Solaris from our ultra-secret main facility on the moon. It's the ultimate fruition of the Stalinist ideal. What a shame neither of you will be there to see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to the one place that. What do you do the thing?
Going to go to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Where's that?
Space.
Ah, he loves saying
My
that.
favourite part of that, my absolute favourite part of it, is the little chuckle he does just before he says space, because he knows it's the most ridiculous fucking line, but he's loving every second of it.
Hurry! Natalia is running out of air!
Hurry up, spaceman. The air quality is seriously deteriorating.
What do I have to do?
I think it's that those things like you were doing.
Okay.
But also not get killed.
As if fighting off the Bliss wasn't hard enough. Those treacherous scientists are healing the nerves you killed. Well, Crypto,
Yep, and there's a third one.
make an omelet without breaking some eggheads.
Ha ha ha.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's loving every second of that fucking script.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where there's a woman pouring him some tea, and he's very clearly looking at her various parts of her body. And he's got that, that cheeky look on his face, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, just love it. Good old Tim Curry. Be sad when he dies.
Yeah, he's been clinging on, God love him,
Yeah.
for a good long while.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have much long.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, he had a stroke, didn't he? And... Okay, I think
Yeah.
we did it? Yeah, we did it.
Done, Crypto. You saved the
Somehow she got out.
Natalia.
Yeah.
You should probably go over and, make sure she's all right or something. Just go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yeah, toots.
Tutsala.
You ready to talk now? Sorry, your boyfriend died.
Tovarish.
Look, it sucks that Melenkov got away, but I couldn't let you,
I know, Crypto, and thank you. But we still have to stop Milenkov. And he's halfway to the moon by now. Ugh, what are we going to do?
Hello? Have saucer will travel. I was wondering when you'd ask.
Your saucer can take both of us all the way to the moon?
You can.
Yeah, he can.
I've got so many mods on that baby. She'll give you everything but the happy ending.
Such a disappointment.
Well, she doesn't seem too bothered about the fact that that guy she's known for ages is now dead.
Well, no, but she's a cold Russian
Oh, she's got a job to do.
woman.
She's a professional.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
See, that would make sense to me if it wasn't already parked there. Of course, now you've, logically speaking, blown it up.
No, that's fine. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's it. And now we're off to the moon. So it probably is going to be another couple of videos before I'm done this.
Okay.
And it's crashed.
Oh, shit. That's not good.
Well, on that note,
Are we heading in there, are we?
well, I think we've got.
Fair enough.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see
Don't
you.
forget to check us out
Yeah,
in all our places.
yeah, we'll see you next week when we go to the moon and we begin the final act of this game. Bye.